Hello. Okay, I want to make sure it's on live chat. Great. Okay. I've decided that I'm gonna do a makeup look I saw on Instagram last night. And I just felt like doing makeup. And I don't even know if I'm gonna get to film like an actual video today. I would like to, but I don't know. And part of me was like, well then don't do makeup. And then another part of me was like, just do it. Doesn't matter. It's fun and something to do. So I'm going to. Hello. I'm trying to use every last bit of this eyeshadow primer that's in here right now. What looks creepy? Oh yay, happy birthday. Hello. For me, it is 1:30. So, are you still planning on posting that Witcher discussion? I think so. I mean, I have the time to film it. The problem is not so much my time to film, it's that since, well, I'm the only one that's like really socially distancing in my home. My parents are doing it because they're forced to do it, not because they think it's a good idea. I want to scream on a daily basis. But they're like home, right? So I have to be like, listen, I need to film, so don't walk around. And don't make a lot of noise. I mean, it's not so much the noise because I'm in the basement, it's the walking around. So yeah, so I want to film it, but I'm also like, when am I gonna have the time? But I think this week I will, because my dad's still working because he works at a pharmacy and he delivers medication to shut-ins, which is basically everyone at this point. So he'll be working, and then my mom is supposed to work, but she's started a new job at like a assisted living kind of facility. And I'm like, y'all probably like, cause she works in like the food service. It's not really food service, but whatever. She works in the food area. So I'm like, you're not really essential staff. Like you, the cooks could be in, but she's not one of the cooks. So I'm just like, you probably don't have to be there. Like there could be, yeah, but she might still be working. So basically they'll be leaving the house during the week and I could maybe film a Witcher discussion. I missed a bunch of questions. Let's see. Audiobook recommendations. Oh god, there's like so many good ones. I like the Robin Hobb Assassin's Apprentice on audio. I like Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore. I like Station 11 on audio, but I wouldn't recommend listening to it right now. I like, what else is really good on audio? The Red Sister, Book of the Ancestors series by Mark Lawrence is really good on audio. Is there a way for me to keep this chat up? Because I feel like it goes away. No, apparently not. So I have to like put it up there and then it'll work. Yeah, stay up. Yeah, Red Sister, what else is really good on audio? I have a number of audiobooks I really like. I'm trying to think of another one. Those are my main ones, I would say. What kind of look are you going for today? I will show you, because it's from a makeup artist on Instagram. Don't mind my 8 million tabs I have open. I mean, it's not gonna look like that because she's gorgeous. So, but I like this like brown, and then under here is green. I think that's pretty. So I'm gonna try to do it. Like I said, it's not gonna look like that, but it's gonna look maybe close. The Hate You Give is excellent on audio. Thank you. That's a really good recommendation. Let me see, what else did you guys say? If you did film today, do you know what you would film? If I filmed today, I would film a like Kindle tour kind of thing. Kindle tour / book haul. I don't really have any books to haul this month, but I did buy some books on Kindle. But typically speaking, I don't talk about the books that I buy on Kindle necessarily, because I don't really buy them. They're usually for free on Kindle sale, or like $1, which is buying them, but you know. So I'm gonna do that, and then I don't know what else I'd film. I think then I would film some like personal channel videos. So like the favorite female characters in other media. My hair's wonky because I just took the dog for a walk and it was super windy. And yeah, some of the like personal videos that I haven't gotten to. So I'm trying to go back up. Any recommendations for getting out of a reading slump? I either go for books that I know I'm going to, that are like easy, fluffy, whatever, or lean into the reading slump and don't read and like do something else, like play video games, watch TV, do a puzzle, which is what I've been doing lately. And then when you actually want to read, instead of yourself forcing yourself to read, then it might be easier. That's my personal recommendation. I hate that it doesn't leave the chat up. Okay, I think I might be caught up. Can you show your nails up close? And that's so pretty. Oh, I'm so glad I got my nails done like right before all this stuff happened. Favorite Chain of Gold character thus far? Probably Anna is like number one, who's like a side character that's more minor at this point, but she's fucking great. And Cordelia. Is it Cordelia? It is, right? There's so many fucking characters in that book. It is Cordelia. I had a minute where I was like, is that the character's name? There's so many characters in that book that it's like overwhelming. I have a chart. It's a lot. I think of the male characters, my favorite is probably Matthew. But again, he's like way below everybody else. But Anna is like chef's kiss. I love her so much. I'm currently reading Chain of Gold. When you get your undercut, does the hairdresser use scissors or shave? Both. So there's clippers like in the main part of the hair, and then she uses scissors to blend, and scissors are on my sideburns. Although the last time I went, I didn't go to my normal hairdresser because I moved. Duh. And I just needed the sides trimmed up, so I went to like a Great Clips kind of place, and they razored or like buzzed this, and they weren't supposed to, because usually my hairdresser like leaves this way longer. Like usually these come down to like here and are more wispy because that's more feminine looking. So yeah, I know that like a week ago I was like, should I grow my hair out? And now it's like, well, all the salons are like closed, understandably, and I am totally in support of that. So I guess I sort of am. I mean, like not completely, you know, like I don't really plan on growing it out, but I think all of this is going to get way longer, kind of like I planned. And then once the salons eventually reopen, I will be able to go back and have them shape up this part, but basically answered my own question for me. So, let me see. Do you know of any sci-fi books that are like The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet? There's not really a lot that are like that, to be honest. Like those are almost like slice of life sci-fi, and it's really hard to find. I don't think I've read anything quite like that, to be honest. Put the chat back up. Okay. You don't need to reread The Unfurled Devices, I don't think. Cassandra Clare does a decent job. Well, actually, Cassandra Clare is pretty, like, in your face about it. She reminds you about the stuff. Like, she will say what happened before, because people don't technically need to read Unfurled Devices before you reach Chain of Gold. I mean, like, I kind of feel like people should, but she'll remind you of all the stuff that happened, and she'll remind you of who's, like, married to who, and whose kids these are, and, like, what happened. So, she's pretty good about recapping, her books, honestly. So I don't think you have to reread them. I think it comes back pretty easily as far as what happened and the like essential points of what happened. Like she reminds you. So would you rather read Serpent and Dove or A Heart So Fierce and Broken? I haven't read either of those, so I can't recommend either of those. Sorry. I don't like Alistair yet. I don't want to talk completely about Chain of Gold because I know a lot of people like haven't read it, but like Alistair's like, I don't know enough about his personality to like him. You know what I mean? So I think that he'll be a character that I eventually like, but I'm over halfway through and I'm still like, you know, I get that you're prickly and there's probably a reason, but I don't tend to like that, you know? So. What's my most anticipated fantasy release? I need to get actually working on my makeup. Probably Shorefall, that's coming out like pretty soon, by Robert Jackson Bennett. I would say right now is like my most anticipated. I don't know. Also like the next Book of the Ancestor. Well, it's not Book of the Ancestor. It's like the next in that world by Mark Lawrence. I'm pretty excited about. What else? Those are the major ones. I'm looking at my picture so I know what to do here. It's not keeping the chat up, and that's really annoying. Have you read The Kiss of Deception yet? Yes, I read those when they first came out, and I have reviews all over my channel about them. Will you continue to read the Three Body Problem series? No, because I didn't enjoy it. And that's fine. It just wasn't for me. I don't tend to like really hard sci-fi. And I've realized this about myself now, and so I'm not going to force myself to read things I don't enjoy just because they're like serious sci-fi. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm not that interested, to be honest. So why force myself to suffer? And it's fine if a lot of people like it. I just don't. I got some brown under my eye that I didn't mean to do. Oops. Oh well. Favorite space operas? Besides like Star Wars. Probably the Expanse series. I read the first 2 books. I want to read book 3 soon. What other space operas do I really like? Why am I like completely brain fogging? I mean, like Mass Effect. Other space opera books. I mean, you could argue that Red Rising is space opera-y, although there's not really like aliens and stuff in it. But you could argue. You can make that argument, maybe. Wow. See, the chat goes away, and then I don't know what you guys are saying. Is there a way for me to like leave this up? Like, why is it going away all the time? Favorite scene from The Mandalorian? I'm only 2 episodes in, so I can't say yet, but basically any time The Mandalorian interacts with Baby Yoda is like the best and most cutest thing in the entire world. So I just love it. In episode 2, Baby Yoda like saves Mandalorian with his powers, and I just can't. Like, I just love it so much. Like, I'm tearing up over Baby Yoda. I'm like in love, obviously. I mean, like everyone else was, and I knew this was gonna happen, but like Baby Yoda is just like our Lord and Savior. So best isolation snack. I haven't been snacking a ton, which is crazy. I've just been eating like what I normally eat. I did buy some s'mores Pop-Tarts though, and they're very good. Would you eventually read Serpent and Dove? I'm not sure. I kind of want, I mean, like, I'm not really pulled by it either way. It seems to be pretty polarizing. People either love it or hate it. And I really didn't plan on reading it before it came out. So I need this to like keep the chat up, and it's like not doing that. And that's really annoying, because I have to keep clicking on it to open up the chat, and that's like not what I want to do. It wasn't doing this the last time. Is there a way to... No, don't put a filter on me. I don't want to do that. Apparently from my phone, it's not letting me do anything, which is annoying. Let's see. Because every time I open it, I have to go back, and it's just obnoxious. What's the first thing you go out and do after all this mess is over with? Oh, just fucking talk to people, man. Like, just, like, go out in public. Like, I don't even... Probably go out to eat. But it's gonna happen like so slowly, you know what I mean? So that's, yeah, like I would like to go out to eat. I don't really have any desire to travel right away. It's mostly go out to eat and like see a bunch of people. Oh, probably try to go on a date with the guy I've been talking to since before this happened. It's like, oh my God, it's so ridiculous that this is happening to me specifically. I mean, it's happened to a lot of people, but I started talking to this guy like right before, like a week or so before I went on my trip to Mexico. And usually I have not done a ton of online dating, but typically speaking, I meet up with people right away because, or like soon after, because chat is no indicator of how I'm going to feel about someone. And we've been talking since before Mexico, but I was like, I'm going to Mexico and then we can hang out when we get back. And as soon as it got back, everything was exploding with the isolation and everything. And like, America's stuff just started to like explode. So now we're just like chatting a little bit every day. And it's just like, watch this be the person that I actually end up really liking because we didn't meet right away. Like, it's just dumb. Like, so probably go out with him. Go plant shopping with my friends that we've been planning again for a little while because she was going on a trip around the time that I went on a trip. Yeah, just like try to have a semblance of a normal life again. NBD. Most annoying relationship in the Nina Blake series. I hate her and Richard like more recently, but I didn't hate them from the beginning. Who did I not like her with? To be honest, I almost kind of shipped her with everybody. I didn't love, at the time when I was first reading it, I didn't really like love her and Nathaniel. I love her and like Micah the most, but at least when I was reading them. But I didn't really like love her and Nathaniel's like relationship. But I know that was the beginning of like them exploring more like BDSM-y type stuff, so whatever. But yeah, just I wasn't super into it. People that haven't read the series will be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah. Have you read your Owl Crate yet? I haven't even gotten this month's Owl Crate book. They didn't send them out to all of us because there was some like stocking issues, so I have not. I don't even know which one it is. You guys can, I guess you can tell me, but I'll know shortly. Don't, I guess, spoil it? I don't know. But I don't even know what it's going to be because I haven't gotten mine yet. Are you currently watching any new old TV series? I started my 10th rewatch of Grey's Anatomy. I would love to watch Grey's Anatomy again, but it hurts me too bad. I'm currently watching The Mandalorian. I just finished The Witcher. I have a list of shows that I want to watch, so I'm kind of rotating through all of my hobbies and watching some of that stuff. Why is this blending like garbage right now? This whole chat thing is really messing up my life. I'm not really getting ready for the day because it's like 2 p.m. And obviously, like, I don't need to be wearing makeup. I'm just kind of doing it for fun. Have you read the Mass Effect books? No, I just prefer to keep it to the games. I don't tend to like books set in worlds that were originally something else. So, like, I don't read the Star Wars books. I don't read the Mass Effect books. I don't read, like, Dragon Age books. Like, I just don't tend to like that kind of media material. Will you read the Witcher books? No, I'm going to keep it to the show and the games. And the games are the best part of it, so... Do you watch RuPaul's Drag Race? Yes, but I haven't in quite some time just because I haven't had cable. I do now because I'm with my parents for right now, but I'm like so many seasons behind. And I like to watch previous seasons because sometimes old queens come back and like whatever. So I haven't watched since the All-Star season when Trixie won, which is kind of a while ago. I feel like that's a couple of years of seasons that I've missed. So that's very sad. I don't even know if I'm going to do my makeup at this point because I just need to keep opening the chat. I hated the Cruel Prince. Your thoughts? I have a video on it. You can check it out. Do you see yourself reading more adult books in general than YA in general? That's what I've tended to reach for more recently. I think my stats last year were close to... I think I read more adult last year than YA. It just kind of depends on what's coming out at the time and what I'm interested in. Book with a good romance during this time for distraction. Oh, it really depends on the kind of romance you like. I think the Winter Night trilogy has a good one overall, but it's like a lesser part of the series. Honestly, reading Chain of Gold right now is great because it's like a CW TV show where everyone's pretty and loves each other. So that's cool. 'Cause I go into it with the intention, like, I don't think Cassandra Clare books are the best thing ever written. I'm not like a stan. Um, no. But the fact that she just has all these pretty people in love, I'm just like, that's fine with me right now. Like, that's kind of what I want. Like, I want no plot, which there's like basically no plot. And that's just no tea, no shade. That is exactly like how her books are. They don't tend to revolve around the plot. They're very character focused. And everyone's pretty and everyone loves each other and there's a lot of angst. And I'm just like, you know what? There's 16 characters in this and there's all these different connections and I'm fine with it. So that's kind of perfect right now. I really like the romance in the Winter's Trilogy. I really like the romance in the Remnant Chronicles. I really like the romance in Grisha Trilogy, obviously. Any of the Grisha books. There's plenty of romance books out there for a good romance distraction. So, really take your pick. Let me see. How's my mental health been doing? So far, like, kind of so good. I have moments where I'm like, oh my god, my life is on pause and this, like, sucks and, like, oh my god, and will we ever get out of this and whatever, and spiraling. But typically speaking, with my personal anxiety, I will probably have a huge anxiety flare, maybe, after all this is over, because when stuff is happening, my brain is just like, we gotta focus on that. You know, like we gotta do stuff. We gotta focus on that. And then after that happens, when my brain is like, now's the time to freak out. We have the time and the space, and everything's fine. So now we're gonna freak out. So like that's kind of what my brain tends to do. So yeah, we'll see. But right now I'm kind of okay. Like I am feeling a little stir crazy. I am like angry that a lot of people aren't taking this seriously still. I feel like a blob without a sense of like purpose and schedule. I'm trying to stick to a schedule, but that's, as you guys know, it's hard. It's hard for me. I'm reading The Four Tendencies right now, an audiobook, which is a sort of like personality type book. And I'm a questioner, if any of you are familiar. So it's hard for me to justify to myself like having a schedule, and I was like, time means nothing. So I some days I stick to a schedule like fairly well. I'm not like strict with it, but like I have like, you know, from this time to this time I'm going to try to read, and then from this time to this time I'm taking a walk, and this, you know, like very vague stuff that you see on social media. But it's really hard for my brain to be like, why should I wake up right now? You know, because the time has no meaning, and all the things you can do at any time, because they're all things you can do from home. So that's been great in the way that it hasn't. Any tips for online dating? And someone asked which app I'm using. I have no tips for online dating because I hate online dating. I mean, everyone hates online dating, but like I particularly hate it because, I mean, I hate it for the same reasons everyone does. I hate going on dates with people that I don't even know if I'm gonna like, you know? And some people are like, well, you don't know that anyway. No, if I go on a date with somebody from real life that I meet in real life, I'm going on a date with them because I know that there's a spark and that I am attracted to them. Online, there's no way for me to know, because I am attraction and spark and that kind of stuff for me is very much based on like someone's like mannerisms and personality. It's just kind of like a feeling. So even if we have like great chat, it doesn't necessarily translate to romantic feelings, because that's something that's just like you can't really predict. There's no way to tell if it's, like I said, if it's going to translate into normal interactions. I have yet to have like a good online date. I had like one person that I saw like twice, but it was still like, it wasn't so much that I like really liked them and they were great. It was just like, oh, I'm more attracted to you than I've been to other people that I've online dated, because so far I've had no luck. So yeah, no real tips. The only tip that I have, and this works for me and not for other people, because I have friends that like actually prefer to have like way longer drawn out conversations. I prefer to meet people like within a week of starting to talk to them, because I don't want to go through all the topics of what you would talk about in a first date, like away in the chat, and then you get on a first date and you're like, I know you, but I don't know you. Like, it's just so inorganic, and I hate it. Because in real life, it's like on a first date, you would not be talking all this time in between, so you wouldn't know all these things, so you could ask these things, but then there's this like familiarity that you have from the chatting, which might make some people more comfortable, but for me, it's awkward, because it's like, okay, I know these things about you, but we're just meeting for the first time, so I shouldn't know these things, and it's just awkward. So that's just how I feel about it. And yeah, so that's my tip for online dating, I guess. And I think also resist the urge to keep scrolling through and like matching with a ton of people. It's like right now I'm not scrolling through it because I'm like I'm not even gonna meet any of you, and I only want to like invest my chatting time with this one person that I'm talking to. So I'm like, why am I gonna sit there and like keep scrolling through? But I know there's this proven, because it's an endless scroll kind of feature, just like Instagram and Twitter and everything else has, that makes us want to keep scrolling and keep liking and so like dating becomes like people become a commodity and like a product, and it's just like I hate it. Like I just hate it. But the app I'm using the most right now is Hinge. That's the one I've had the most successful like conversations from. Again, I haven't had like a successful date per se, but I like the features of Hinge and how you can comment on stuff people say in their profile, and that kind of stuff. I will never use Tinder, but I know that people are. It kind of depends on what area you're in and what profiles or what dating apps are used the most. Because I know, like, for example, when I talk to Sarah Jane about stuff, like Hinge in the UK is not, or at least her part of the UK is not used that much. They use Plenty of Fish, which for America is like, what? like we would never, because Plenty of Fish is kind of seen as like a skeezier like site. And I know some places are like just Tinder. And Bumble I've used, but I don't tend to like Bumble. I like that women have to message first, but I find that the straight men on Bumble then feel like they don't have to do shit. Like they're just like, you message first, you do everything. And I'm like, that's literally not how it works. You have to be able to show me that you're capable of having a conversation. Apparently you're not. So like, I haven't had a ton of fun with Bumble. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Someone just said they're focusing on themselves this year, not dating anyone. I did that. What's so irritating about just like again, so I shouldn't have to say this because I feel like all of you are smart, but I feel like I have to say this in case someone is in here that doesn't know me. Complaining about some of the littler things about the quarantine and social isolation and the pandemic, I get people are dying. But people can also be upset about life being disrupted. Like both can be true. So that's what I'm talking about in this instance. Like I get that me not being able to go out and do stuff is like a minor thing, but also like I can still be upset about it, just like I can be upset that people like are dying. Like both things can be true. We don't need to be like one or the other. Anyway, so one thing that's like particularly annoying right now about this all happening right after I moved home is like I moved home to be closer to people, to be around the kinds of people that I want to date, to be around the kinds of people that I want to be friends with, to see old friends and have like the systems in place that I have. So while I'm very grateful that I'm not quarantining alone, because I would probably be like climbing up the walls, I'm also like, wow, I have basically been social isolating myself both voluntarily and involuntarily in Delaware for the last like 2 years, and like doing nothing, like only really going to work. And for a while there I was doing like a little more stuff, but for a while I was just like going to work and staying home on the weekends and like not leaving my house and whatever, by choice for the most part, but also because I didn't really care about anyone out there really. And now I'm here where it's like I have the opportunity to do stuff and I can't because this has happened. And like it's just like, why? Like, I would probably be in a better spot right now if I had been sort of like allowed to be social. But now it's like my life was on pause voluntarily and involuntarily from being in Delaware. And now my life is on pause with everybody else's. But it's just like, I've just been waiting for my life to start. I feel like Rapunzel. I'm just like, when's life gonna begin, man? Like, because I feel like it's been a bit on pause for a while, and I'm over it. Now I have to go all the way up the chat. Okay, I can't go all the way up. I'm gonna just respond to things as I see them, I guess. Will you be reading Crescent City? It probably will at some point, but I'm not in any rush. Do you like the romance between Yen and Geralt in The Witcher? I love it in the game. So by proxy, I love it in the show, but I don't tend to love the dynamic as much in the show. I really like the way that he looks at her in the show. I don't necessarily buy her attraction to him in the show. So yeah. But I love Yen and Geralt like as a thing. I say like something for 10 minutes and then I like blend a little part of my eyeshadow. Yeah, being stuck at home, my parents aren't taking it seriously. So that's another thing that's annoying. It's like I'm glad I'm around them because I would be sad to be like around no one, but at the same time I'm like, for fuck's sake, I'd rather be around no one than have you guys being like, right now my mom's out buying something from Craigslist for my uncle. Which I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, just, and she listens to me slightly more than my dad does, but like not by much, because I'm like, this is not what you need to be, this is not what you need to be doing. Like, it's fine, it's not fine, but I don't even know what to do at this point with it, so it just pisses me off. Because I'm like, I'm isolating a shit ton. Like, I haven't done anything besides get groceries since I came back from Mexico on the 9th. Like, nothing. Have not gone to public places, nothing. Have not seen people. Meanwhile, they're gallivanting. Like, before, when the coffee shops were still open, I'm sure my dad would have been, like, licking doorknobs just to prove a point. It's so... Anyway. Do you plan to start watching anime? Probably not. I have so many shows that I need to watch right now. Like I said, I have a whole list in my like bullet journal of things that I want to watch. So I have a ton of shows on Netflix, and then I actually turned on Amazon Prime today and realized there's a ton of shows on there. So, do you play Final Fantasy? Yes, and I cannot wait for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I haven't played and really enjoyed a game since honestly like 13. But I've played 15, but I don't love 15, and I haven't even finished Final Fantasy 15. But Final Fantasy VII Remake, yes. There's also so many video games I need to play. Like, I have so many shows I need to watch. I have so many video games I need to play. There's just a lot that I have to do. But my brain's like, I can't focus on anything. Yay. Do you have any female fantasy or sci-fi recommendations? Tiger's Daughter by Kate Russell Rivera. I haven't read it yet, but The Midnight Lie is supposed to be female. I'm just like going down a list of ones that I like know. There's oh gosh, who else is female? The Abyss Surrounds Us. Thanks. It's so hard when someone like asks something and you like don't have a list right in front of you, because typically speaking, when someone asks me for recommendations, Gideon the Ninth, yes, although that's polarizing. Yeah, if I don't have my like bookshelf right in front of me, I'm trying to like look on my bookshelf in my head. Of Fire and Stars, yes, but I don't love that one, so I wouldn't recommend it. Crier's War I haven't read, but I'm gonna read it for Magical Readathon. Is that what I think it is? Okay. Let's do this. Oh, Red Sister, duh. But Red Sister has like a it's very there's some side characters in there. More so, but there are some like major side characters, I would say. Have I always loved reading? Pretty much. I've been reading since I was little. What career are you going for in the Magical Readathon? So, I don't want to spoil you guys because I have a video coming up, but I'm going for 3 technically. I kind of picked like easy, medium, hard, and I'm actually trying to read everything if I can, because obviously I do have the time. So yeah, yeah. I have a lot that I'm going for, technically. Someone asked if I think I'll catch up on Nevernight this year, and I think I will. I plan on reading God's Grave next month, actually, speaking of Magical Readathon. And then I'll probably read Dark Dawn shortly after that. Series or standalones? Do I prefer series or standalones? I mean, I kind of love both for different reasons, to be honest. I don't need to add more series to my life, but I do like the time that you can take to develop stuff in a series. Yes, I binge read the Girl of Fire and Thorn series last week. It's so good. I'm 35 minutes in and I've blended like 3 eyeshadows together. Do you plan to read nonfiction in the future? Like a little bit. I read nonfiction sometimes like on audiobook form more than anything. But I'm not particularly drawn to it. Will we get another Magical Readathon vlog? Oh, that's probably a good idea, but like, do you guys want a Magical Readathon vlog? Because it's literally just gonna be like, I mean, as you guys know, it's just gonna be sitting in like inside. Like I'm not gonna be updating on anything but reading, which I guess is like the point, but I know some people like vlogs that you can like see it. Like I'm not gonna, it's just gonna be, it's just, yes, okay. Yeah, okay. I feel like it's gonna be boring, but like, okay. It'll be me in this sweatshirt because this is my new Mass Effect sweatshirt. All right, I guess I'll do it. I'm using the Metal Matte palette and the Jaclyn Hill palette. Both from brands that I don't, well, like, you can buy from Kat Von D now because it's not Kat Von D anymore. It's KVD Vegan Beauty, not even owned by her. So I watch boring content all the time. True. I just feel like, you know, yeah, I'll probably do it. I need to remember to do it because my last, like my Tome Topple vlog, I forgot to start filming. So do you like to make vlogs? I prefer making vlogs at like events and stuff. Reading vlogs, I'm like torn by, like sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. It's not that I don't like it. Sometimes I just like forget. Like I don't watch reading vlogs, so I think that's why I'm like, is this fun? Like I just don't. I'm like, is this the content y'all want? You know what I mean? So I think that's why I get kind of thrown off by them. So it's not that I don't love them because I don't make any content that I don't like making. It's just like I don't know what to do on them because, yeah, I don't watch them myself. Crescent City, yay or nay? Haven't read it. Don't know when I will. I will probably not read Crescent City until all the other books get off my TBR. So it'll probably be later on in the year. We'll see. How far have you gotten in Chain of Gold? I'm like 60% of the way into it, I want to say. 50 to a little over 50, between 50 and 60. Have you been reading a lot? Not like a lot. I don't know, like I definitely have had to like, not force myself to read, but like kind of because my brain's just having a really hard time focusing. Like I just have to, like I said with the whole schedule thing that I've been doing, I just have to like lay out like, okay, from this time to this time, like I've been reading in like half-hour spurts. And that's been like easier to focus on. And then I'll like be like, okay, I'm gonna play a video game for 2 hours. I'll read for an hour. I'll work on the puzzle for 2 hours. I'll take a walk for half an hour. Like all that kind of stuff. What do you think your average star rating is for books? Do you give more books 3 stars, etc.? Mine tends to be a pretty decent like bell curve. So it is like 3 stars. Like I would say 3 to 4 stars. I think my average rating on Goodreads is like 3.4 or 3.5 from like all the books that I've rated ever. I can actually tell you this year so far, because I have a spreadsheet, my star rating, my average star rating for this year so far is 3.3. So And I think, honestly, that a little bit of that is because I've been reading some more just, like, romance books that I know are kind of just, like, blip. They're just kind of meh. So romance books being 2 stars for me are just kind of like, whatever. And I think some of those have skewed the results a bit. Did you move with all your plants, and have you bought any more? I did move all my plants. I only lost one in the move. And I have not bought any more yet because it hasn't been spring and there's been really nothing around, and now it's almost spring and I obviously can't go plant shopping and I hate it. I don't want to buy any plants online either because I just like buying plants in stores. So yeah, looking forward to being able to buy plants again for sure. Do you use ebooks? I do. I use ebooks, but mostly for romance. I don't really read ebooks for any other genre because I just prefer to read those in physical copy or in audio. Will you read the rest of the Shatter Me series? No, I decided right before I moved, I had the first book of the continuation, and I decided, you know what, I have no interest in reading this. I really don't. I just want to keep it with the original trilogy and how it was, and I'm totally fine with that. So yeah, no interest. It's taken me 41 minutes to blend this. Because I've spent like 4 of the minutes actually doing the makeup. But it's okay. I have nowhere to be. I have nowhere to be. How many books are on your current physical TBR? I'll tell you. 31. Hi, Chelsea. Oh, it's good to see you. Is 31 bad or good? Better be good, man. It's so good. It is good. I mean, I've made this my goal for like a couple of years now to get this thing down, you know, and I like haven't bought books. Chelsea, you having 300 to 400 makes me want to throw up. Like I just, Sarah Jane also said, I think she said she has like 200, and I was yelling at whoever Roxer about this like a month ago. Like she actually, because she'd been hiding this from me. We were like, we always talk about like books and TBRs and stuff, and she's like, I don't even know what mine is. And I was like, oh, maybe it's like 70, like blah, blah. And she counted them, she's like, it's 200. And I was like, that makes me want to die. Like, I just want to get my TBR down. So I'm reading, like, I've talked about it before, but just so I'm reading the books that I really want to read, like, as they come in. Like, I'm most excited about the books that I get within 6 months of getting them. So I just want to read them when I'm hyped about them, you know? In my defense. No, girl. So, Chelsea, I don't even judge you that much for that because you read, like, so many books a month that I can't even comprehend. Like, I feel like, if you guys don't know Chelsea, please go follow her and subscribe to her channel. She's wonderful. I feel like I've watched vlogs of yours. I like that I'm talking to you as if you're like in the room. This is exactly what I wanted out of this live show. Where you've read like 40 books in a weekend. That might not be true, but I feel like it is. So like, I know there's definitely been times when you've read like 3 books in one day, and I just like, I don't have that kind of power, you know? So like, go ahead and have 300 books in your TBR. Like that's fine. You're allowed because I just don't have that kind of energy. So. Oh, I need to pull back up my picture. I don't feel like I have this green that she has on, and that's just sad. Look at, just the Check on Hill palette is like all brown. And it's like an emerald green. How many books do you read on average in a month? Well, when I was working a really difficult job and didn't have the emotional energy and the time, I was reading like 4 books a month, which was really sad for me and I hated it. Right now, I'm averaging like 7 or 8, which is great, but it's not going to last probably. Next month, I'm trying to read for like Magical Readathon, I think like 10 or 11. But most of the books I picked for Magical Readathon are shorter. That's the thing too, is like lately I've been reading more of my big books. So I keep looking at this as if like a new color is going to appear, and it's fucking not. So I don't know why. I thought I had a green. I really did. I mean, like this, because she has like, let me show you. She has like a sparkly green, like an emerald under her eye. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you see it. Look at all the fucking windows I have open. It's ridiculous. So maybe most of that is just her like eyeliner though. Do I have a green eyeliner? I don't think I do. An easy read similar to the Honeymooners. Well Met by Jen DeLuca. That's the one that I compare the most because I love them. What else is really easy? All of your windows open makes me want to throw up. It's for my plants. And the dog is to bark at turkeys outside. So love that. Love that for her. I guess I'm going to use this like... That's not the right color, but I guess I'm going to do it. Yeah, recommend romance books that are cute, guys. Because like, I'm having a brain fog, apparently. How does a bitch not have an emerald eyeshadow is what I want to know. Okay, so I actually own Get a Life Chloe Brown, and I will probably read it April or May, I want to say. Because I have it on ebook. I bought it when it was on sale. So it's happening. I promise. I've wanted to read it. Believe me. I have so many books on ebook right now. Like, it's honestly, it's a lot. Why do I keep just blending this one area? Oh my god. Okay, it's time to just like commit to this green eyeshadow. It's not a green eyeshadow. I mean, I have like a crazy green eyeshadow, like this guy. Don't mind how dirty this gets from this black. But like, that's not the color. I swear I had a green eyeshadow. Favorite eyeshadow palette. I really like the Kat Von D Metal Matte that I use all the time, to be honest. But now part of me is like, do I need to buy a green palette? And I'm like, no, you don't. But part of me wants to. Because I swear I had green. I also really like the Urban Decay Naked palettes. But again, I have all of these neutral eyeshadows. And not the green that I needed. Okay, I just need to dive into this green situation. Should I use this one? I think she's gonna work. Yeah, I think there's some major fallout in that one though, so pray for me. I own 5 green palettes. Oh my gosh. Bye, Chelsea. ColourPop says, oh, so I think Menagerie Cosmetics, I want to say, has a green palette that I kind of want. Is it Menagerie? I feel like Melt has one too. Can you even tell that's green? I really can't even tell it's green. Oh, well. I'm working with it. Which YA author do you think writes atmosphere the best? Who writes atmosphere the best? I think Susan Denner does a really good job. I think atmosphere is hard though. Can't even tell that's green. You're not a guard dog. You're not a guard dog. She thinks she's big. Ugh. Sit down. Quit gurgling at me. I don't even know what was out there. It might have been turkeys. Turkeys just trying to live their damn lives, Tally. Yeah, love the barking that she does. I'm trying to train out of her, but like, training dogs is difficult, obviously. And like, you have to drop everything. Like what I should have done if I was training her properly is drop everything I was doing and do like the commands and stuff with her. And you can't do that every moment. Ugh. Elantris, thumbs up or thumbs down? I like Elantris, but people definitely say this is like weakest book, but I like it more than some of the other ones. So, yeah, sorry if any of your dogs barked because of my dog being a beast. A beastie. They are so soft. Maybe I should just do a live stream of me just like showing you Tally's ears and like the little hair between her peats. Isn't it cute? And her fluffy tail. I won't show them your tail. That's really embarrassing, isn't it? She's a spaniel mix. She's a rescue, so I don't know. With her on my lap, I'm just gonna give it my makeup for right now. so because I can't see in that, like, it's kind of fine though. Like, this looks kind of good, right? Yeah, so look at her little ear tufts. Aren't they so cute? And her ears sometimes go up like this, which is adorable. It's the best. She's desperately looking outside the window. Yeah, maybe I should just do live streams with my dog all the time. Baby, you don't need to look out the window. I don't even know what's out there. Oh, a person walking a dog. Oh my gosh. It's so distressing. Favorite snack during isolation? Someone asked this earlier. I haven't been really like snacking a ton, but I did buy myself some s'mores Pop-Tarts, which I haven't eaten yet. I've been sticking to like most of my normal foods, to be honest. Like, I really haven't gone like full like comfort snacking, you know? I love Warbreaker the most from Sanderson. I feel like it's underappreciated. I think a lot of people like Warbreaker. So yeah, I feel like a lot of people that I know like Warbreaker. Favorite Hogwarts house after your own? Probably the Ravenclaws. Probably. I'm not sure. Look at her, like... Yeah, exactly. Look at... Show them. I was looking at her eyelashes yesterday. Show them your eyelashes. Can you see them? Oh, they're so cute. She wants to get down now. You want to get down? Oh, this is so cute. But yeah, I think Ravenclaws would be my second favorite. It's okay. If you bark again, I'm going to get you again. Go up there. Yeah, big shake. Go up there on the beddies. Most disliked villains. I don't necessarily like... Oh, this isn't bad. I don't necessarily like super dislike any villains. The villains I dislike are mostly because like they're not well done. You know, like I don't like the villain really from the Infernal Devices because, as previously discussed, Cassandra Clare like doesn't do a great job with like plot, so her villains are like not great. Yeah, I feel like the villains I don't like are just because they're bad. Like, they're not effective villains, in my opinion. Someone asked if I could only recommend one book forever, what would it be? And it would be The Night Circus. But that'd be boring. Favorite historical period to read about? Victorian London. Honestly. AKA the only reason I read The Infernal Devices. Was because it was like, oh, it's set in Victorian London. The Kingdom on Fire series is set in Victorian London. Yeah, like just a lot of those. I don't read a ton of historical books, but I do like that setting like the most. That kind of like Victorian, kind of gothic-y, you know. There's a lot of smog and it's raining. I don't know. That's what I picture at least. Do you ship Shaladin? So I haven't read the second and third books, so I don't know, but I'm assuming there's going to be a love triangle. This is about Way of Kings and the Stormlight Archives, by the way. I'm assuming there's going to be a love triangle between Shallan, Kaladin, and Adolin. Is that the names? Don't tell me, but like I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. So that almost kind of confirmed it, but... Yeah, no opinion yet because they haven't interacted in the book that I've read. So. This is just me blending my eyeshadow forever. Best books with multiple POV. I don't know, I feel like I read a lot of books with multiple POV. Do I have a favorite love triangle? Probably the Infernal Devices. It's funny that I'm talking a lot about the Infernal Devices, and like I don't love Cassandra Clare books, but like that was like an OT3 basically. So I also, what other love triangle do I like? I don't know. Favorite scented candle, I love Bath and Body Works candles. My favorite for winter is toasted marshmallow. My favorite for like holiday is fresh balsam. My favorite for fall is leaves. My favorite for like spring, summer is, I think it's something sage. I want to say it's like a herbal scented one. It's very fresh. Those are my favorites. Have you ever read a band and it's a Hades and Persephone retelling from Meg Cabot? I have not, but it's been recommended. I've almost borderline given up on like reading like Hades and Persephone retellings. Do you think there will be a Caden, Safi, Merrick love triangle? If so, who are you rooting for? I absolutely believe there's going to be a Caden, Safi, Merrick love triangle, because that's from the Witchland series. And I don't know, because everyone in that series has chemistry with everybody else, and it's just like a lot for me to handle. I don't even know who I'd want her with at this point. Like, so we've gotten to explore her kind of with Merrick. I think now that because of events that happened, there will be some opportunity to explore her and Caden as like a thing. So I'm excited about that. And then I'll decide from there. But like everyone has chemistry. If you guys aren't reading the Witchland series, like you're sleeping on it and I'm upset. So it's good. It's good. But the best love triangles are where everyone loves each other, to be honest. Those are my faves. Like everyone in a love triangle has to be like a strong part of the love triangle. Have you read Receiver of Many? I have. I don't love it because it's erotica and I don't love erotica. But it's probably one of the better ones. So yeah. What about Azul, Aduin, and the Prince as far as a love triangle? I don't think they're going to be like an actual love triangle, but again, everybody has chemistry and I'm like, why? But like Aduin and Azul are like OTP. Like, so I don't think that's going to be a love triangle. If you could buy a house now and you get more awesome pets, I probably wouldn't get any more pets because 2 cats and a dog is like fine, especially speaking from somebody who used to have 4 cats and a dog. It's just too much. I would buy a shit ton more plants. Do you think Audible is overpriced? Yes. Still use it though. Audible has like the biggest selection and there's like no bullshit as far as like what you can and cannot get. You know, like sometimes Scribd, you run into problems, whatever. Like I still try to get books on like Libby or Hoopla or those kind of things first, but if they're not available on there, I get them from Audible, and I always ask for Audible for like Christmas, so I always have it as like a gift basically, but I don't know if I would ever pay for it myself. It's so expensive, and just like the cost, oh my god, it's so expensive. It saddens me, so I only really have it as a gift, and I ration those credits like nobody's business. Rank the Cassandra Clare series. I've only ever read The Infernal Devices. And now I'm reading Last Hours, obviously. So, yeah. And I will not read the other ones. People are really trying to get me to read The Dark Artifices, and I'm just not going to. If anything, I'll just read, like, a plot summary. There's a really great OT3, like, all this stuff. But, like, I don't love her books enough to do that. I only read her books that are set in historical settings because I like that setting. So I do have to go in about half an hour because I'm watching When Harry Met Sally, just as a warning. And you guys can join us. Sarah Jane and I are doing a, like, rom-com watch-along. We've been watching rom-coms together for, like, months now, although we hadn't since, like, January. But we're opening up the watch-along to you guys to watch with us. And we're talking about on Discord so that we can all get our asses off Twitter. And Discord's free. And we're doing it, like, a couple times a month, probably not every week, but maybe every week. And we're watching When Harry Met Sally tonight. Well, today. 3 p.m. Central Time. So, which Sanderson books have you read? Rank them. I ranked them in my recent video. I think. I would say Mistborn's my favorite. Mistborn Era 1. And then I don't know, it's hard because I've only read one book of Stormlight. Mistborn Era 1. Maybe, I think it might be a tie between Way of Kings and Elantris. I kind of liked Elantris. And then Warbreaker, and then Mistborn Era 2, because I'm gonna write one book for Mistborn Era 2. I think that's how I'd rank them myself. Why do I keep blending this? It looks how it's gonna look. I might darken it up a bit though. I need like a very pale, actually, yeah. The thing that makes this so green on her is that she has a green eyeliner, and I've gotten rid of like all of my colorful eyeliners because I don't use them. But now I want to experiment with makeup again. I just can't. I love how I spent this hour doing just this. That is dumb. It's ridiculous. Again, I have nowhere to be. I have nowhere to be. Least favorite character in a series you love. Least favorite character in the Grishaverse is Mal, probably. That's an easy one. Are you enjoying Robin Hobb's Rebel and the Elderlings? Yes. Favorite makeup brands? I'm not buying a lot of stuff recently, so I probably have favorites that I don't even know about. But the brands I bought from the most are like Urban Decay. I really like Jeffree Star's makeup brand, but I don't buy from it anymore. Like, I like his products, for fuck's sake. But I haven't bought from him in like 2 or 3 years. I think it was like 2015, so it's been like it's been 5 years. I hate when people are trash cans. Melt Cosmetics I really like. I think Melt has a green eyeshadow stack. So I just bought some, they're not here yet, but I bought some Black Moon Cosmetics liquid lipsticks to see if they can be my replacement for liquid lipsticks. So like them. I like the Kat Von D eyeshadows. Well, now I can say KVD. So if they come out with new KVD palettes, I'd buy them. I like Sugar Pill, but I don't use them a lot because it's really crazy eyeshadows that I don't wear all the time. Yeah. What was the final straw with Jeffree? So I didn't know when he like came back onto the makeup scene and like YouTube, I didn't know his history with MySpace and like him being a piece of shit for years because I wasn't like I was on MySpace, but I wasn't really a scene kid, so I didn't know who he was. So I think it's more like a culmination of behavior, but basically I started hearing about like all of his racist behavior and saying that he was gonna like calling women of color particularly like horrible names, saying he was gonna like drop battery acid on somebody, like just like a lot of really gross stuff that has been like pretty recent, and he's done it over and over again. So like I could maybe forgive someone for doing something as like a teenager years ago and they've never done it again, you know what I mean? But like he hasn't really like stopped. Like I don't know if he's done anything like super recently, but he doesn't seem to treat his fans very well. Like he doesn't. Like sometimes he's like really sweet, and then sometimes like he just goes off on people and there's like on video. Yeah, but it's a crime and a shame because his products are like really they're good. Like his products are good, but I'm like, you're a piece of shit, and I don't want to like contribute like. And he has good stuff about him, like he takes very good care of his dogs. But as people have pointed out, like, you know, you can't be like, oh, I like this person for taking care of their animals, but like they're bad to people and they're racist. So like, but I'm gonna forgive it because of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, his liquid lipsticks I feel like are the best. Which is why I'm trying to find a replacement, which is why I got the Black Moon cosmetic stuff. What I like about his liquid lipsticks especially is that he has really cool colors that I feel like are kind of flattering. Like even like the cool like he has like blues and different things like that. And it's harder to find liquid lipstick brands that have more than just like your basic lip colors, you know? So you have to look at like indie brands. So I've been looking at Black Moon Cosmetics. I think I looked at Menagerie, but like some of them do crazy colors that like aren't flattering. So that's been hard. Black Moon seems to be the one that's going to be the most good, you know? So we'll see. Have you completed the KonMari method? I haven't done a KonMari of my entire house, but I did a KonMari of my books. And I kind of did a KonMari, almost everything. I did a massive declutter before I moved out of my house that I had with my ex, like 3 years ago? 3 or 4 years ago. And I did it, like, it wasn't quite like KonMari, but it was, like, a very massive declutter. Like, I decluttered all these spaces. I actually filmed it, but then it got so past the point of, like, I've been moved out of the place for a while that, like, I just was like, I'm not gonna put this up. So, yeah, that was what I did. But, yeah, it was more a declutter than, like, a full KonMari because I just didn't have the time. And now I have pared down my stuff to, like, just the stuff I really like and use and need, so... Should I put on, I'm gonna wait. I was gonna put on, like, foundation and stuff, but, I don't think I'm going to right now. Will you do another Whole30? No. So, I will never do another restrictive diet, because that's what it is. Again, I didn't go into Whole30 to lose weight, but Whole30 is a level of restriction that I will never do to myself again. I've talked about this, a little bit, but, I was very obsessive with food back in, like, 2018, the most in 2018, it started probably in 2017, and Whole30 was my transition kind of out of that, because after Whole30, I went to, like, completely intuitive eating, but, yeah, anything where I restriction causes a lot of effects that I just can't really get into right now, because I'm almost done with the live show and whatever, but restriction is bad, for food and stuff, and it actually leads to a lot of the behaviors that people don't want. Like, it actually causes your body to protect itself and make you gain weight. And not that gaining weight is bad, but that's something that a lot of people don't want, why they go on diets. So then you're actually shooting yourself in the foot by going on diets. I did the Whole30 mostly to see if I had any food sensitivities, and I didn't. So I have no reason to go on it again, because at that point it'd be like going on it to lose weight, and I'm not going to try to lose weight. I'm not going to ever consciously try to lose weight. In my life, I will only do stuff for my body that's, like, adding stuff in. So, like, you know, eating more vegetables, eating more, drinking more water, whatever, doing more movement, but nothing that is punishing. And I feel like Whole30 is punishing. And there's been a lot of people that I follow that did Whole30 that have now moved on from it because they're like, this is deeply unhealthy. Doing multiple Whole30s is not necessary. And people use it as a diet, people use it as, like, a cleanse, and it's just, yeah, if anything, someone should do it for food sensitivities to see if they have any. I get that that's, like, part of the draw of it, but once you know, you don't need to keep doing them. And yeah, so I could go on a whole rant about that actually for a long time. I don't necessarily think Whole30 is bad, I just think that it gets used improperly, and there's a whole, like, kind of cult around it, and yeah. Someone asked if I would still do some of the recipes and modify them. I have. Some of the recipes for Whole30 are very good. So yeah, it was, yeah, I have a lot of them saved. I have, like, ranch potatoes and, a pork chop thing that I really liked and whatever. But yeah, getting all the ingredients that are, expensive, I keep, like, losing my train of thought. I probably wouldn't want to do because it's, like, super expensive to do Whole30 as well. So yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't, do it again. I need to check what time it is. What time is it? You do drugs? No, I don't do drugs. Okay, 2:37. I gotta go in, like, 10 minutes. You're welcome for the relief. I'm gonna try to do these at least once a week, I think. So I might do another one during the week when I actually film, if I don't film tonight, which I may or may not. What's your favorite rom-com? I think all-time favorite is You've Got Mail because it's flawless and it stands up to the test of time. I think one of my trash favorites is Sweet Home Alabama, which has its cringe moments now, but I love it. Like, but there's moments of it where you're like, ooh, this is so, like, dated, and there's some, like, sketchy jokes in it and, like, all of that. But yeah, it's just not, it's not great. But I still love it in a lot of ways. TV shows you've watched recently or want to watch? I have so many, so let me just say, okay, so I'm currently watching The Mandalorian. I just watched The Witcher. I'm currently watching Schitt's Creek. I want to watch Peaky Blinders, Poldark. What all is in my list? I'm trying to like envision it in my head. There's a couple historical things. Maybe catch up on Downton Abbey. I'm trying to remember all the like shows that I have on my list in my bullet journal, which is out there and I'm not going to go grab right now. But Peaky Blinders will be after The Mandalorian, I'm pretty sure. What's your favorite sci-fi movie? Honestly, it's like probably some of the Star Wars movies, which makes me so sad. I mean, if you count Thor Ragnarok as a sci-fi movie, it's probably my favorite. I also really like, what's the one with Matthew McConaughey? Not Arrival, the other one. That one's fun. Oh, like the original Aliens movies are really fucking good. Those are probably some of my favorites. Interstellar, yes. I really like Interstellar. Do you like to stick to a TBR or mood read? I tend to mood read, but like I'll have a basic idea. Like next month with the Magical Readathon, I have a TBR. And I'll read, like I'll mood read within that TBR. You know what I mean? So I kind of do a mix of both. Like I kind of have a vague idea at all times of what I want to read next. But beyond that, I really don't. Have you watched The Expanse TV show? Not yet. I want to get farther along in the books. I think I could watch the first season just fine because I've read the first 2 books. But I still don't want to chance it. Have you read any Anne McCaffrey? I have not. Have you seen The Shape of Water? I have. Yeah, I actually watched that with one of my friends like before it. I think it was in theaters, but it wasn't in theaters near us because he gets screenings, like discs for the Oscars somehow. Like I forget how he's affiliated with some kind of like art thing. So like that year he was like, come over and watch The Shape of Water. And I was like, cool. And it had all this like, do not share with others. This is an official Oscar, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow, this is really official. If you could never wear foundation concealer again or never wear mascara, which would you choose? I would never wear foundation concealer. I need to wear mascara, otherwise my eyelashes are like, they stick straight out and you can't even see them. So I would just deal. And most days I don't wear foundation. Like I only wear, well, actually I don't even wear foundation anymore. Well, I guess I wear this powder foundation, so that's a lie. But I don't wear liquid foundation. And I just wear concealer, like liquid concealer, and then the powder foundation a little bit to even everything out. But day to day, I don't wear anything. Hi, when you read a book series and lived in the world, do you jump right into another series or you have to read something entirely different to get over it? I typically read something like different. Like I don't tend to like skip around series. I mean, it kind of depends. Like right now I'm reading Chain of Gold, and after this I'm probably gonna, like shortly after this I'll be reading. It kind of depends on when I get to this actually. But I plan on reading the next book in Furyborn like shortly after, and I feel like those books are like similar-ish. Like, I don't know, they just have like a similar vibe. So yeah, but like typically speaking, I try to like not read similar kinds of books back to back, but sometimes I do. I don't know, like I kind of just do whatever. So I guess it's not completely accurate because I just kind of wing it. Will you watch Self-Made on Netflix? I haven't even heard of that. And I have so many shows to watch on Netflix. Do you read Stephen King? I don't. Don't read Stephen King. I mean, I could, because like some of Stephen King's stuff is not scary, but like a lot of it is. So I don't really want to. Dean Koontz? No, no interest. I don't have a lot of interest in reading famous male authors. Especially famous white male authors. Like, I just don't. Like, I mean, and especially like Stephen King and Dean Koontz read, like, not read, they write in genres like that I'm not like super interested in. Like, Stephen King does do like speculative whatever, but any of the books that I would be interested in that he's written have been made into movies. Like, he was Green Mile, right? And he was Shawshank Redemption. So like, I like those movies. I don't need to read his books. I just don't. And I want to just read a lot more like sci-fi fantasy stuff. Again, I'm not saying that I'd never read white male authors, because I obviously do. It's just like some of these I'm not super interested in, you know? Grisha Trilogy or Six of Crows? For me, Grisha Trilogy. But for most people, like the most universally liked is obviously Six of Crows, and I know why. But like, I like the Grisha world, like the Grisha Trilogy world a lot. So this is like a 5-minute warning. I really have to get going as soon as my eyebrows are done. Because again, we're going to watch When Harry Met Sally. Feel free to join us on Discord. How are you getting on with Robin Hobb? I finished the Farseer, but I don't know when I'm going to continue because I don't own the other ones yet. Like, I don't own live ships. And I definitely want to get more of the books off my TBR before I read live ships. Before I buy live ships to then read. So it's probably going to be a hot minute. I would say like summer at the earliest, you know? But we'll see. I mean, like, with this isolation thing, if I can get my butt in gear with the reading, like, I could get through a lot of those books on my TBR. Because if I read the 10 books, I think, like, 10 or 11 books that I want to read for Magical Readathon, and don't bring in books next month, then by the end of next month, I'll be down to, like, 20 books on my TBR. And I feel like once I get down to, like, 10, I'd be comfortable buying new books. But no more than 5. I haven't quite planned yet. Like, this whole, like, getting my TBR down is so, like, amorphous. Like, it's so vague that I'm like, is this really gonna happen? But, like, it may. Like, now, especially with this, you know, isolation thing and only really being able to, like, read and play video games. I have a lot of video games I need to, like, play, though. And, what's an acceptable TBR number for you? I really want to be between like 10 and 20. Like, I think, I don't want to get it down to 0. I'm not opposed to it, especially like with this situation. I don't really want to be at a 0 because I want to have stuff to read, but I honestly feel like, honestly, the ideal is like 10 or less. Because I want to be able, like, on average when I'm working, I read like 4 books a month. So 10 books is like 2 months of books, you know? It kind of depends, because again, like, some bigger books, that's why I say like 10 to 20, because some of the bigger books, obviously I'd have less of those, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like under 20 is like great, because there's still plenty of books to read at that point. So, what magical forest would you pick to distance yourself in? What's the one in Lord of the Rings with all the talking trees? That one's really great. I really like the one in Uprooted, but Uprooted is like the evil one. But when it's not evil anymore, that one probably. That one's great. I want one that just has like a lot of like forest spirits in it that will just like hang out with me and be nice and not be mean to me. You know what I mean? That's what I want. That's the kind of magical forest I want to live in. I just want to be Baba Yaga in the forest. Okay, I think it's time for me to go log on. I'll take you with me to log on. Okay, so here's my makeup area in my room, and here's my TV area in my room. The worst. But you know what? I'm blessed. I have a TV, man. I have TV and I have Hulu and I have Netflix. Well, I have Hulu for the day because a very kind person gave me their Hulu password because Amazon Prime took When Harry Met Sally off of Amazon Prime, which is fucking rude. So anyway, if you guys want to join us and watch When Harry Met Sally, feel free. This is where I'll be sitting with Tally, who's sniffing me even though I haven't been anywhere that she hasn't been today. So yeah, we're going to be watching When Harry Met Sally on Discord. The link is on my Twitter. I'm going to do this now. I'll talk to you later. Like I said, I plan on doing these more, so I'll probably do another one this week sometime when I'm actually putting on makeup. And yes, Tally wants to get out of the room. Okay, love you guys. Stay safe. Love each other. Love yourself. I'll talk to you later. Bye.